Hey guys, so today I'm actually at school. Like I was doing my exam just now. I just finished it. Yeah, that exam was rough. It wasn't bad, but yeah, things happened that could have gone haywire. But anyway, I sorted out. It's done. So I thought while I'm still here on campus, it's very quiet. Literally, there's not many people here. I thought I might just shoot my video while I am here. I'm actually in one of the classrooms. I will show you guys around a bit later on. But yeah, so today I'm going to be speaking to you what's university like. I believe this is the number one question I get from a lot of people. What's it like? What's the relationships, the social issues that happen there, and that sort of thing. I do apologize that my camera is a bit slanted. I'm literally using my wallet and my pencil case to create a stand, so we're working with what's there. But anyway, so today I'm just going to be explaining to you what's university like. I have 7 categories that I'm going to be speaking about, but if you're going to take anything away from this video, is that university is not like high school. There's not going to be anyone that's going to be babying you. It is a time where you become independent and you're doing things on your own. So you need to learn that very quickly. There's a lot of students that are coming to university and they expect their teachers, their parents, their friends to get them organized and together, and no, that's not anyone's responsibility anymore. It's your own. If you mess up and you fail to get yourself organized and proper, then that's just your own problem. Honestly, that's the honest truth of it. So definitely that you need to know that once you get to university, you're an adult and you need to get your ish together. Please don't let the movies lie to you, because I believe like with the movies, they focus mostly on the journey to get there, the suspense, the anticipation, the anxiety of am I gonna get in? Once I get in, where am I going to be staying? How am I going to be going there? And that sort of thing. So I guess that part to a certain degree is correct. Yes, that happens while you're preparing to go to university. But I believe in the movies, they highlight more on the social things of it, the parties that happen at university, the romances, your university sweetheart and all of that. Yes, they do highlight that a lot, but that's a small percentage of what's happening in university. In university, there's a lot of late nights. University, honestly, I would say it's the manufacturer of stress. There's just stress all over. Even if you're not even a nursing student and you're not working while you're at school, there's just a lot of stress. There's got projects that are just being packed on you. And the thing is with university, they don't care what other modules have. They don't care if you're going to have 2 tests on the same day and all of that jazz. As long as each module, the work that they set up for you, it gets done. And it's a lot of information that is being covered in a small space of time. Because I remember, like with human biology, in a space of 6 months, we had covered 22 lectures, which is literally 22 chapters, and in high school you'd cover like maximum 10 in a year. So as you can see, it's very fast paced. There's a lot of work, a lot of information being thrown at you. There's going to be a lot of late nights. So when you come to university, you need to know you're getting yourself organized, you're getting your time management correct, because I believe that is a bigger struggle that a lot of people have, where they don't expect to be thrown deep end into the amount of information that they're being given, and you have to understand the information, because like you are preparing for your future career. It's not things like in primary school where you were doing subjects that you were never going to use ever in your life and you just had to learn about it. But in university, you're learning things that you're going to be using in your career, especially for more practical subjects like nursing, medicine and all of that. It's things that you're seeing on a daily basis. It's things that could actually either kill or save a patient. So it's not things you can just take lightly and say, you know what, I'll learn about it during the exams. It's things that you're using constantly, so you need to know. So definitely time management and working smart and not hard. I don't know if that makes sense. You must work hard, obviously, but in your working hard, it must be smart. You mustn't give yourself extra work and extra baggage than you need. So definitely that is the biggest one. There's a lot of stress. It's one of those things you just have to deal with, find a way to deal with it, and you move on. And then obviously the next thing is there's a lot of independence in university. With most students, they are staying either on campus or close to campus and they're no longer at home. There is a small minority that stays at home. But in general, in university, there's a lot of independence. The lecturers, they don't run after you if you don't hand in your projects. If you don't hand it in, it's 0. If you hand it in late, that's minus 10% each day that it's late. There's no one babying you and telling you must do this. You must know when your own deadlines are. They don't even remind you that this deadline is coming. When it comes, they want their stuff and you must hand it in. So in that sense, you are doing things on your own, finding your own accommodation, you are feeding yourself, you are creating your own social calendar and that sort of thing. So it's no longer a thing of where the school dictates what happens in your life. Like, when you're in high school, there's social events that are created for you and that sort of thing. In university, it's either you're focusing on your academics or all social, or you mix it up. You are in charge of your own life. And for the first time, it is a good thing, because I believe in high school there was a lot of babying that was happening where the teachers were always running after you, got deadline for this, deadline on that, and that sort of thing. And yes, it was cute at that moment, but in real life, no one is going to be running after you telling you there's deadlines. You have to know what deadlines you have. You reach that goal and you give in the work. So definitely that independence is beautiful, and also it gives you the freedom to do, I guess you can say, whatever you want. I believe that phrase is a very dangerous phrase to use, but yeah, it does give you the freedom to do whatever you want. You choose your own sports that you want to do. There's a wide variety of things that you can do on campus, societies that you can join, groups, debate. There's a whole lot of things that are offered on university and that sort of thing. So that independence and carving out your own journey, I believe that is the most beautiful thing about university. And yeah, I guess you can say with that independence, people start showing their true colors. I believe everyone who goes to university, there's a shift in who they are, their friends, and that sort of thing, because you're given the freedom to discover who you are. Some people do take it to the extremes and start doing, they go short left with how they were in high school, but it gives you that opportunity to open yourself up, to actually see who you truly are. I believe that is a good thing. You need to know who you are. You can't just walk around life, being the character that everyone expects you to be, or the character that you are molded into during high school and all of that jazz. So that part of independence, I believe, is beautiful. But with every great power comes great responsibility. So with that independence, please use it wisely. Most people go overboard and like, I'm an adult now, I can do whatever I want, and then they start doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. So if you're gonna do it wisely. Another thing about university is that it is a melting pot of culture. Yes, even though if you're in a multicultural, multi-gender school and college and high school and all of that jazz, there was, I guess you can say, a small number of mixedness that was to it. But with university, it's at a whole grand scale, and people are very free about it. I believe in high school, you're sort of limited in a certain way to, you must act or conform to the picture or the image of that particular school. Yes, we might say, yeah, the school allows you to be whoever you want to be and that sort of thing, but there is a sort of boxedness that is with high school. But with university, no one cares. So it is almost, for most people, it is the first time where you get to interact with people of different cultures, genders, races. So if you've never interacted with that, for you it can become strange, because I believe like in high school there's not that many people that were open that they of a different gender. So in university now you've got classmates that are like that, or you're dealing with people of different cultures, the accents are different. It's no longer just one monotone, accent. You've got people that are from overseas and they're coming to South Africa for the first time, so the English might not be as good. So you've got all of that just coming your way, and you need to be able to know how to react to it properly. I believe that's the one thing that we all have to learn, how to treat people that are different to us in the correct way, because I think with some people they're so used in their set ways and it becomes very difficult for them to now all of a sudden react appropriately to different cultures, genders, and all of that jazz. And in university it's very much open, it's celebrated and that sort of thing, so that definitely will be a culture shock for many people. So learn quickly how to deal with it, or you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble, because you're here the gang up on you if you if you react inappropriately. So that definitely is a big warning I would give you. And no matter what your own personal values are, I still believe you should treat people with respect, even if you don't agree with what they're doing. They still are a human being, they still deserve your respect and your love and your kindness, and you don't have to treat them as inferior just because you think otherwise. That's their personal choice. Yes, you can do your part to voice your opinions in the correct way and you guys find a common ground, but if not, just walk away and treat them with kindness and you mind your own business. And the next thing is, university is a place of growth in both your personality and personal values, and also outside things like your career, your skills and that sort of thing. So there is a lot of opportunities that are given to you. Majority of them, you see them on posters being advertised in the school communication, through your emails, of just things being advertised everywhere. And I believe this is the best time for you to grab it with all your hands. I mean, you only have two, but you get what I'm trying to say. Grab it with both hands and use this time that you have, because in university you do have a lot of free time to do other things other than academics and sports. So this will be a time for you to learn a new skill. I believe after university you should have learned the majority of the skills that you need for you to be a functional, responsible human being, because I believe there's a lot of adults out there that miss that opportunity of gaining essential skills. One thing would be your emotional intelligence, about your mental health, budgeting, dealing with your emotions, leadership. Those are very important skills that you need as a human being, and this is the perfect time for you to get those skills. In university, you're going to have times where you have from 12 to 6, don't have any classes, you don't have any homework, and you're just doing nothing. Instead of going to the barn and partying and whatever, you can use this time for you to grow, because trust me, it will look great on your CV and will just give you a head start before you enter into the workplace. You know how to deal with your money, you know how to be a proper leader, you know how to work with others. That will just make you a more profitable employee in the future than you obviously wanting to all of a sudden start know how to budget when you get your first salary. This is the perfect time for you to learn how to do all those things. So please use opportunities that have been given to you. Don't be lazy, don't use excuses saying no, I'm busy and all of that jazz. If something is important to you and is valuable, I believe you always have time for it. So get your priorities together and get those skills. Trust me, you will regret it if you don't learn your skills now while you're still young, because I believe the older you get, things get harder to learn because we are so set in our own habits and all of that jazz. So this is the perfect time to create those good habits so that your adult life is much smoother than allowing society and just life and karma in general treat you the lessons the hard way. With this one, I'm not going to dwell a lot on it. University is fun. I'm pretty sure this is the highlight or the thing that everyone knows about university. There's a lot of parties that happens, or just functions, like for example with my university with Nasty C come to the university, Casper in your vest and all of that. So there's a lot of fun things that happen during the day and during the night. And yes, it's very easy to get sucked into that wormhole where you're jumping from party to party to party. if that's your lifestyle, honestly, I'm like, what? You know what? Do what is best for your life. As long as you don't let your academics suffer, you can definitely have a balance. But it all depends on your personality. If parties are your thing, go ahead, as long as there's a balance. And if it's not, there's a lot more other things that you can do. Get yourself involved in, get yourself a job at university. There's so many job opportunities, yeah. So with this one, we must discover what's fun for you. If what's fun for you is going to Vita Cafe with your friends at lunchtime, then do that. Don't all of a sudden now try to force yourself into things that you've never done just because you have the freedom or you're an adult now and that sort of thing. If certain things make you uncomfortable, don't do it. I believe a lot of people in university, they fall under this social pressure, especially if you're living in a res area where you've got a lot of party people and then you just, sort of want to follow the crowd and that sort of thing. University is the time where you stand your ground and you affirm what your personality is and what your values are. So don't just follow what everyone is doing. If it's not for you, don't try now to force it. And if it's for you, go ahead. It's your life, but like I always say, there must be a balance to everything. Don't now be all parties and no academics, or all academics and no fun. So you must just find the balance that suits with you, your personality, and your values. But definitely have fun. You need fun. And then with your classes, this depends on the type of course that you have. But with most courses, it's 6 lessons per day, and they're usually an hour long. And then you can have double periods where, for example, with me, in the mornings, I'll usually have 2 double periods of human biology and then 2 double periods of general nursing. Obviously, depending on the course that you're in, it can vary, but majority of it, that's how it is. So you can have 2 of the same ones, 2 of the same ones, 2 of the same ones, or just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of different ones. But I've actually never had a day where I had 6 different classes. It was usually 3 to 4 of the same classes, and sometimes your classes might even finish at 12 and you've got the rest of the day off. Or I know with us, with nursing, we're divided into 3 groups, so we all have lessons on different days and that sort of thing. So this one, it just depends on your timetable, and there is ways to somewhat manipulate it so that you can have more classes on one day and less on another. For example, I had a module called Psych 1-on-1. It was available, I think it was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So if I wanted all my classes on Monday, I could have it on Monday, and then Wednesday and Thursday I don't, because they were all repeats. So if you've got classes that repeat, you can just choose the best day for you to do it. So if I decided that Tuesday is my most busiest day and I want it in that one, or Tuesday is my most busiest day and I don't want it in that, I could have it in Monday or Wednesday. So you must just work around your schedule, see which classes can be repeated and have them on those days that you have the free time and that sort of thing. Then another thing, you have modules that are quite chilled, that don't require you to be in class all the time, or classes that you just feel you can do on your own and you don't like the way it's being taught and that sort of thing. So with those classes, you can skip. Obviously, if there's a register that needs to be signed for that class, you have to go to that class. But if it's not a subject that you struggle with and you don't sign register for it, and you need more time to focus on a more stressful subject, then in that case you can skip that class. Obviously, you need to catch up on the work that you missed and that sort of thing. So you can maneuver around the modules that you have, see which one you need more time on and that sort of thing, and just allocate the appropriate time on the appropriate subjects. But don't let the one module suffer just because you need to focus on the other one. And then obviously you can have after hours tutoring that you can have. You can speak to your lecturers if they can give you extra lessons, or just consultations so that they can help you out on what you're struggling with. Or you can create groups where you can study together. But should you do that, please don't do it more than 4 people. I think after 4 people, you guys are just having a jowl and you're not studying. And you must have people that are like-minded, because if you're gonna have one person who's just there to chill and just joke around, it's going to destroy the whole purpose of that group. So obviously you must choose people that are like-minded and you guys work at the same pace and that sort of thing. So that pretty much is what's there with classes. And then with regards to the work, With some classes, you have PowerPoints that have been made already, and they will send it to you in advance. You can read through it so that when you come to class, you're prepared. With some classes, you come on the day and you have to take notes as it goes. Then you must just decide for yourself which note-taking system works for you, whether you're going to be doing pen and paper, if you're going to be typing, and that sort of thing. You must just choose the best one that will allow you to retain the most information, or it's the quickest for you. But at the end of the day, you need to revise your work for it to stick with you. So if you decide you want to type, just make sure that you're revising your work, etc., etc. But with this part, it all becomes a personal preference. And with classes being online now, everything is going to be digitized, so you're going to get lots and lots and lots of PowerPoint. Like I had this module where they would send you on one topic, they would send you 105 slides. And I'm just like, you expect me to go, and they expected you to go through it in 2 hours, and after that you'd have a test done. And I'm just like, where do I find the time? So like I said in the beginning, you need to work smart. So if printing is going to work for you, or you're going to take the PowerPoint that they gave you and then you condense it to become smaller, that's also perfect. Or you're going to write down notes, whatever you choose to do, make sure you can do it quickly and you can remember the information that you need to learn and that sort of thing. But like I said, it's all a personal preference. Okay, let's start from the front. So there is the monitor. It controls the projectors that are there. So usually your lecturers who will be there. This is the Faculty of Community Health and Sciences. Some courses that are on this campus is nursing, physio, natural medicine, OT, that's occupational therapist. I think pharmacy is also here. So it's all the health courses they are on here. But anyway, so that's the front. You do presentations in the front. And this is my makeshift stand. You know, the things we do for content. Yeah, that's pretty much how the classes look. All of them look the same. They all have this layout. And then, yeah, anyway, back to what I was. Let's put you here. Come on, stand. Okay, cool. So the next thing is friends. I honestly don't want to say a lot on this one. It's all a personal preference, but the most important thing that you need to be aware of is that your friends are going to change when you come to university. I don't want you to come to university being all naive and thinking, me and my friends, we're going to be friends for life and all of that. Yes, it does happen. I'm not saying it is not going to happen. It does happen. But majority of the time, you guys are going to drift. And you need to be okay with that. It's normal. Especially if you're doing totally different courses, or even if you're doing the same course. The way you start thinking, you start discovering yourself. Like I said, university shows you true colors. So if your friend all of a sudden starts partying, or your friend all of a sudden becomes a nerd and all of that jazz, you need to be okay that this is your friend now. And if you guys can work around that and still be friends like that, that's perfect. That means you guys were meant to be together and stick together for the long haul. And don't give your friend backlash now and saying, oh, you've changed, no longer the same person that you were. Obviously, if you stay the same person that you were and you're not changing, that means you're not growing as a person. In university, you discover a lot about yourself and people start showing themselves in their most truest color. So if you can accept your friend as they are, that's perfect. And you don't have to see your friend every single day for you guys to still be friends. Even if you see your friend once a month, every 2 months, you guys are all busy students. You've got things going on. If you can still sacrifice that every 2 months, or even just a phone call, even if it's not in person, that's perfect. You're catching up with your friend. But if your friend and you start drifting apart and no longer speak at all, be okay with that. As long as you did your part, that's okay. Don't beat yourself about it, because I think that's the biggest issue that students have when they come to university, where their friends are no longer the same and they get a shock like, oh my gosh, I'm losing my friend. No, you're not losing your friend. Your friend is just flourishing in their own way. Hey, so it's actually a different day, and I was editing my video today, and I actually realized I missed two very important things that you need to know about what's going to happen at university. The first one is in addition to the discussion we were having about friendships. Yes, you're going to be struggling to keep up and catch up with your friends that are changing in their own different ways, but you're also going to be looking for friends. And as a result of that, you might end up making some, wrong decisions or some unfavorable friends. So please be aware that in university or just in world in general, there's going to be friends that are going to want to be your friends because they can gain something from you, and not necessarily just because they want to be your friend and that sort of thing. So please be very careful who you become friends with, because those could either make or break who you are as a person. Like they say, the top 3 people that you hang out around will be how you turn out. So if the people that you're around, they don't want to do work, they're just lazy around and that sort of thing, you are going to end up following that. Yes, people like to say, no, but I can convert my friends, I can be that change in the group and all of that. Rather, don't put yourself in a battle that you can avoid, if that makes sense. And then the second thing is what's known as first year weight gain. And this is a real thing. And the reason for this is, for the first time, most students are on their own. They don't have either their parents or someone else cooking nutritional foods for them, or they just don't have time. I mean, we're also busy with different things that you don't have time to actually properly sit down and cook a meal. So majority of the time, you're getting takeaways. And I mean, takeaways, it's cheap. For 15 Rand, you can get yourself a proper meal for dinner, or you're just eating noodles all the way around and that sort of thing. So as a result, you focus less on what you're putting in, and you're just grabbing food as you go because life is so busy. And as a result, you start gaining weight. So please be very careful when you start living by yourself. Even if you do not have time, meal plan, cook your foods in advance, but make sure that whatever foods you're taking in, it's nutritious, because it will also help you in your mental health and just in your own mental capacity, so that you're learning properly, because what you put in is going to determine what comes out of you. So please take care of yourself and do some exercises. Gym at campus is so cheap. Like at my university, it's like 500 Rand for the year, or you can just run around 15 minutes, quick workout. I know the Nike, the Adidas app, you can download those. They have quick 10-minute workouts that make you sweat very quickly, and that's all you need. But please make sure you are taking care of yourself and not letting your body suffer just because things are a bit messy and you're in a rush. So that was just my addition to that. Let's continue. Okay, so the last few are quite brief. The first one is relationships. I believe when you come to university, everyone wants to find the university sweetheart. Please do not be desperate as a result of that. I've seen girls do the most unnecessary things just because they want to have a relationship in university. If you yourself don't feel you're ready for a relationship, don't get yourself into one. Everyone around you is gonna have a smooching buddy. If that is not for you, don't get yourself involved in. Yeah, like I said, focus on your skills. Once if you're already in a relationship, then get into one. Anyway, I'm moving on from that. Then the next thing is fashion. I believe when we study university, we all want to have a fashion runaway that's happening every day. You want to have a different outfit. You don't want to be seen repeating clothes. Girl, you're gonna get tired of it. By the first week, you're just going to be so tired because you're going to have a lot of laundry. So down below, I've given you a few basic outfits that you need, a few pieces that you need for you to still look fashionable, but you're not wasting a lot of time and effort into it, because this whole thing of trying to bring high heels to school, it's not going to work for you. So keep it simple, keep it basic, and you'll be perfectly fine. Other than that, just enjoy it. It is definitely a time for you to experiment. So if there's a different, fashion style that you're going for and you just want to see if it will work for you, definitely go ahead and try it out. But don't spend a lot of money trying to look good for others with something that is not comfortable for you. That's all I can say with these two. Whether you take my opinion on it or not, that's totally up to you. Just don't be desperate to try to get people's attention. If you do you, people will notice you for you. If you do your things properly and you just mind your own business, stay in your own lane, trust me, people will notice you. You don't have to be extravagant, having a lot of money for people to notice you. Because when you do those things, people will start noticing you for the bad in it, or they'll start thinking you're all stuck up and all of that jazz. So if you know who you are comfortable in your own skin, go ahead, do you. Trust me, people will notice. You will not disappear into thin air. People that like you will come and become friends with you, because with all that high fashion that you're trying to do and getting yourself noticed by boys and all of that jazz, you're just attracting the wrong crowd and you do not want that. So just focus on you and you'll be fine. I promise, people will notice. Okay, I have to get going now. My phone is literally telling me I no longer have recording space. I've been talking for too long. But anyway, this was just a bit of a discussion of how university is like. Obviously, if you're in university and have had a different experience, that's totally okay. Comment down below what has been your experience being at university. I will speak more in detail about my own personal experience when I do my video next week on the struggles that we have as universities, as international students. That one is a bit more in detail in my own personal story at university, but this is just to prepare you to know what to expect for university students. And this video, I think you'll most enjoy it if you're going to be a nursing student next year, because I'm just going to give you a bit of a sneak peek of what this campus looks like. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Definitely go down in the description box. There's a lot of written content that I have for university students, like your stationery list, the type of clothes you need to have on university, your dorm room checklist, and all of that jazz. So definitely go down in the description and check those out. And if you're not yet subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button. Until next time, I'm Silibaziso Mupereki. Have an awesome day. Bye.